Welcome to Fantastic Vision. Please subscribe us before you watch today's video. The US government recently proposed to impose tariffs of up to 100% on semiconductor companies such as TSMC. As soon as this news came out, not only did the global semiconductor market become a buzz, but also made many observers in the technology industry sweat. Why does the United States do this? Is it to protect its domestic industry, or just to put pressure on these global giants through tariffs? What is the deep meaning behind this series of measures? Let's find out. TSMC has almost become synonymous with the global semiconductor industry. Whether it is the core processor of smartphones, or the recently popular AI chips, TSMC firmly occupies the dominant position in the field of the world's most advanced process. Especially in the 7 nanometers, 5 nanometers, and even more advanced 3 nanometers processes, TSMC is almost unique. If you have an Apple phone in your hand, then the chip behind it that supports your daily computing is likely to be produced by TSMC. But the problem is that TSMC's global supply chain is highly dependent on Asia, especially Taiwan. On the one hand, the United States wants to maintain its global technological competitiveness, and on the other hand, it is unwilling to rely too much on external forces in the semiconductor industry. What is the US government thinking? Do you want to move, by various means, bring these high-end chip production back to the United States? In order to reduce its dependence on overseas semiconductor manufacturers, such as TSMC, the US government has been continuously promoting a plan called the CHIPS and Science Act in the past few years. The core of this bill is actually to provide huge financial support and tax incentives to the semiconductor industry to attract global chip giants like TSMC to build production bases in the United States. To put it bluntly, this is the US government's attempt to move the world's most advanced chip production line to its doorstep through the wealth-making policy. Among them, TSMC has built 3 factories in Arizona, the United States. The first factory plans to start producing 4 nanometer process chips in 2024, and the construction plan for the next few years involves more high-end chip production. In order to make this plan go smoothly, TSMC received a subsidy of $6.6 billion and a low-interest loan of $5 billion from the US government. This huge sum of money is undoubtedly a powerful booster for TSMC to promote the implementation of the project. However, on the other side, the US government is not idle either. In addition to strongly supporting local construction, the United States also directly pressured companies such as TSMC through tariffs, proposing to impose tariffs of up to 100%, restricting these companies from producing in other countries, and binding their production lines to the United States. When this proposal came out, not only TSMC was stunned, but other semiconductor manufacturers around the world were also unable to sit still. Is the United States' two-pronged approach really aimed at revitalizing local manufacturing, or are there other considerations? TSMC is not a simple chip manufacturer. It is well aware of its responsibilities. In 2024, about 70% of TSMC's revenue came from the North American market, including orders from important customers such as Apple and Nvidia. Today, TSMC's global production layout has spread across many countries, but the revenue from the US market undoubtedly occupies an important position. If the US government further restricts TSMC's international business through tariff policies, it may directly affect this part of the revenue. However, TSMC cannot easily give up the US market. In order to ensure that it can continue to obtain orders from the United States and achieve long-term development, TSMC has to invest in building factories in the United States. But the problem is that with the increase in tariffs and the advancement of local production, TSMC will not only have to bear the increase in production costs, but also face the profit pressure brought by tariffs. Although TSMC's US factories may bring it a stable market share in the long run, if the demand in the US market declines, TSMC's American dream may become more and more difficult. In recent years, the US government has increasingly strengthened its control over the semiconductor field, especially in the production of high-end chips. Through high tariffs, technical reviews and other means, the United States is accelerating its pace to gradually reduce its dependence on external suppliers. Obviously, this is not only to protect local companies, but also to ensure that it can occupy a dominant position in the global technology competition. However, as the United States strengthens its control over the global supply chain, its global technology companies are also facing unprecedented challenges. For example, technology giants such as Nvidia, Apple, and Qualcomm have a strong dependence on TSMC's chip production. If TSMC cannot deliver chips on time due to tariff pressure, the costs of these companies will rise sharply, which will in turn affect the global technology industry and even cause certain obstacles to the research and development of cutting-edge technologies such as AI and 5G. The reason why the US government has strengthened its supervision of TSMC's technology is mainly due to national security considerations. After all, semiconductor chips are extremely important in the modern technology industry, and they are indispensable from artificial intelligence to military technology. However, excessive technical review and control have also caused different voices from the outside world on the US approach. On the one hand, such intervention can ensure the technological security of the United States and prevent key technologies from being controlled by external countries. But on the other hand, excessive technological blockades and supervision may also cause the lag of global technological innovation, and even lead to the risk of technological decoupling. TSMC is undoubtedly at the forefront of this technological security and global competition. How it finds a balance between the contradiction between globalized production and localized manufacturing will directly determine its future development space. Whether the United States can promote the real return of the semiconductor industry through such policies still needs time to verify. The game between globalized production and localized manufacturing seems destined to be a tug-of-war with no end, and TSMC will become one of the most critical pieces in this competition.